what we really hope is that this carries on and that people here, especially chefs and people in the food industry, work with the farmers and begin to eat your own heritage.
As part of the Guam Humanities Council's Eat Your Heritage Tour, Native American scholars and chefs Dr. Lois Ellen Frank and Walter Whitewater spent time with Guam Community College culinary students on how to make a modified feast day chocolate pignon or pecan tart with blue corn flour and an added twist of fresh mango sauce. The contemporary dessert is tied to the chef's Native American culture in New Mexico and based on Spanish-influenced feast days for patron saints. Dr. Frank explains.
On the day of that saint's birth, you celebrate a feast. And during that feast, you make tons of food. It's days and days of preparation. Very similar to what we experienced for your fiesta. And so this dessert is a contemporary version of an old recipe. So we call it a chocolate pignon because we make it with pine nuts, which are indigenous to us. Here you could use macadamia nuts, you could use any kind of nut. Today we used pecans for the kids.
Dr. Frank and Whitewater own and operate their restaurant Red Mesa in the Southwest. They are here to help Guam explore the connections between food, health, culture, and environment. For example, both say each design made in the torts has a meaning and is symbolic of something.
Design that we did is just a petroglyph from back home. The ancient ones, the one that left the story behind for us to carry on the traditional ways.
We do something called the ancient one, or the Anasazi design, and it starts in the center and it spirals out. It's a circle that spirals out. You see it a lot in petroglyphs all over the world, but for us it means that the ancient knowledge starts in the middle and it goes in a circular direction outward, so that all of us younger generation, we have that design. And then we also did the stepladder design, and that's from the cloud people down to the earth. And if you look at the homes, the mud homes in New Mexico and Arizona, they have step ladders.
Both also share the philosophy of making your food with love and cooking with the essence of who you are. This is all tied to the love and history of their ancestors.
As chefs, we know that someone's grandma's grandma's grandma has made it before in every culture. All we do as chefs is we add a piece of ourselves. And so when you add the love and you add the nurturing and you add the essence into the food, it makes the food taste better.
Whitewater says what he's learned from his elders and wants to emphasize to island residents is that food is our medicine. It heals and it is sacred.
Food brings people back together. Not only that, the food heals, and the herbs that we use in our food, those are the food that we use in our ceremonies. And when you look at that plate, we want to make our food look beautiful. It tells a story and who we are.
With the traditional song to mark the end of their time with the GCC students, the inspirational scholars say they will take a little of Guam back with them, starting with pumpkin tips.
We've never done that. We always use the flowers. So pumpkin tips are going to return, and we're always going to think of Guam because that's where we learned it. Yeah. And so when we talk about fusion cuisine is the fusing together of components from one culture with another. And that's the beauty in the kitchen, that we can share. And so Guam will live on through us, and we hope that what we do here can live on in Guam.